Gobble gobble. I'm not coming in with that.
Yes. I saw it written there,
It's all in the delivery.
and in my head, it there's no way in my head it was worse than it actually was when you did it.
Gobble gobble.
Gobble gobble.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Good Movie Monday. This is the podcast dedicated to nerdy cinematic ramblings. We are Glenn and Ben, the tragic movie men, here to chew up the next hour with movie stuff.
You are the keeper of the stats of this show. Do we actually have any American listeners?
We do. So most of our listeners come from obviously Australia, America, then the UK.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm always surprised at the amount of American listeners, to be honest with you. There's more than you'd think, yeah.
Yeah, because I was wondering, like, do we even mention Thanksgiving? Because it seems like the only real part that we've taken is the Black Friday sales.
Yes, well, okay. Well, it is November 25th today, which means that this week is Thanksgiving in America. Clearly not something we celebrate here, Ben, but we're going to make it a thing. We're going to make it a thing.
Because it is a completely wholly American holiday, isn't it? Because it's supposed to be the landing of...
Canada has it too, but it's a different date.
Well, because it's the landing of the...
Plymouth Rock and all that kind of
ship
stuff.
on the rock
It's all about the pilgrims and, you know...
Yeah, which no one else had.
No, but Canada has Thanksgiving, but it's earlier in the year. It's a whole different thing.
But it's like our Australia Day, right?
We don't have anything like it. Nothing that resembles.
No. We don't do the meal and everything like that. But their Thanksgiving is the discovery of America.
No,
right?
no.
It's just it's the religious nutties. It's the religious nuts coming to America to worship as they want, the pilgrims, because they've been kicked out of the UK for
Just
Catholicism.
keep going. Just keep going.
Is that what the deal is?
He's making us sound like stupid Australians right now.
Is that what it is? Isn't that what the pilgrims were? Isn't the whole reason the pilgrims came to America was because they were free to worship as they so chose?
Don't know. Did you research before we jumped into the show? Because all I know is that we are celebrating it by using it as an excuse just to talk about some Thanksgiving-themed movies. Because that's what we do. And the fact that we've got a few American listeners means that they're on board with us.
See, I didn't even do it.
We're in the intro and we're already lost. Ben's looking it up and he's come up with Eli Roth Thanksgiving. Hey, while you're doing that, I just want to say happy birthday to my phenomenal wife. It's her birthday tomorrow. She's turning 50 years old. Happy birthday, Mel. We're going to celebrate that next weekend with a bang in glorious fashion. And you're going to see me in a different light, Ben. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So happy birthday, my love. Ben's brought that up.
It is the annual national holiday in the US and Canada, celebrating the harvest and other blessings of the past year. But it was... Americans generally believe, that's what I love, so it's not real. This is what they just believe. That Thanksgiving is modelled on a 1621 harvest feast shared by the English colonists, the Pilgrims of Plymouth, and the Wampanoag people, which I'm assuming were indigenous.
Yeah.
Which is, what a load of shit. Like, we're taking your land.
Yeah, we're grateful that you're here.
Yeah. Here are some beads. We now own New York.
The only beads that are worth getting are at Mardi Gras.
That's right.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. We're off to an interesting start. We do have the regular segments locked and loaded. They're coming up soon. Jarrett Garn is here to talk about physical media and what is or is not coming out this week. It's pretty grim, but he talks about other stuff, so there's a lot to tune in for that for. The video of that will also be presented tomorrow on Tuesday, my wife's birthday. We have the three lads from the Kentucky podcast Bonehead Weekly coming up to take over the mic and talk about movies you may have missed. Interesting conversation there. We also have Ben's little small screen tangent, Terrific TV Tuesday. We're going to talk about some television. What else have we got, Ben? A couple of songs, recommendations. It's like a stuffed turkey, this show, mate.
You're really running that into the ground. Because I think only you have done it. Only you have picked a Thanksgiving film to recommend, and only you have watched any Thanksgiving TV.
Okay, so we have a run sheet that we share between us, like a little schedule of what's coming up, what we're going to do on the show, and this was clearly marked the Thanksgiving episode. So of course I've come to the party with some Thanksgiving titles to talk about. That
I don't
kind of
look at
makes
that.
sense, doesn't it?
I only look at that sheet I only rarely look at that sheet to see who the guest is.
The Americans would probably be fascinated to know that we don't celebrate Thanksgiving here. It's just not something we do.
There's no harvests.
Forget about that stuff, but like it's just this interesting holiday that's sort of wedged right between Halloween and Christmas. Like it's like that's a lot of family get-togethers in a small space of time.
I mean, I know it was always a pain in the ass for Monster Fest because we always tried to get guests, and if we were before Halloween, they wouldn't come out because they had much bigger Halloween things to do leading up to Halloween.
Yeah.
And then after Halloween, they wouldn't come out because it's Thanksgiving and they wanted to spend it with their stupid families.
Mm. Yeah, that's true.
And then you're like, but isn't Christmas just like a couple of weeks after that?
Isn't this?
Yes.
This is the thing. So
Okay.
at the end of every Christmas day, you all sort of look at each other and go, well, I guess till next year. But in America, it's like after Thanksgiving. It's like, well, see you in a few weeks.
I mean, but the weird thing is, generally, outside of Hallmark movies and Hollywood in general, the thought of having to spend too much time with your family is the thing that drives most holiday suicides.
It's true.
Like it is when you look back on the year ahead, you're like, I've wasted it all.
That's ungrateful if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Far
And
out.
just as a point of me being right, there was the Mayflower set sail on the 16th of September, 1620, from Plymouth, UK, to America. Passengers were in search of a new life. Some seeking religious freedom, others seeking a fresh start. Yeah, I'm sure.
A fresh tart.
A fresh start
Oh, I mean,
in a different land. Though why would you, man? I guess the UK was no fucking picnic, I'm sure. But at least they had toilet paper and no one was trying to kill you with a bow and arrow.
that is true. Very true.
Cutting your scalp off.
Make a salient point, my friend. Hey, join us on socials. Go to our website, goodmoviemonday.com. Click the links to the socials. We're on those new weird ones as well. Whatever, I can't remember what they're called, but the ones that everyone's bailed from X and gone over to. Blue Bird or something like that, I think it's called, and then you got Truth.
Is it
and
blue balls and,
yeah, the Blue
and
Balls
lies.
app. That's right. I haven't used my Blue Balls app for ages. Wait till I unload on that. Oh, far out.
But we haven't talked about yet.
All right, let's do it.
Kick off your shoes, yeah. Put off your socks, yeah. Put on your loosest pants. Get real comfy. Because it's time for Van and Ben. But mainly Ben. Talk about Hallmark Christmas movies. Cause it's their show and they'll do it if they want to.
It just stops.
It's a weird thing with the way it works because it actually asks you when you create the theme song how far into the song do you want the lyrics to be,
But
and
it also just started.
it just but it will unless you pay a significant amount of money, it will not give you the full song. It'll only give you 30 seconds or 32 seconds, but it also won't let you do less than 30. You go, I just want it to be 10 seconds, just in and out. But it doesn't. It
Are
doesn't
you
do
telling
that.
me you didn't compose those and record them yourself?
I did all of those things with the help of the AI machine.
Well, just like that song said, it's time to talk about Hallmark movies just for a little bit. When I say a little bit, a little bit.
A little bit.
Ben's been going on this adventure. He's promised to watch, was it 47 Hallmark movies?
47,
Christmas movies
yeah,
before Christmas?
I think I'm like seven or
Wow.
8 down.
Wow.
But in fairness, they started releasing them before Halloween.
Well, also, I mean, you kind of also got to get to that before the end of the show, like before we wrap up the show for the year, which is before
No, that's
Christmas.
my out.
Well,
I've only watched 20 movies.
That's the end.
Oh, I guess you just have to take my word that
That's
I watched
right.
the rest of them.
There's still like 5 days left till Christmas.
It'd be the summer series. A couple of summer series episodes. Me talking about the Christmas Hallmark movies well into February. No, I actually watched 4 this year, but I can't remember the 4th one. But because I didn't care for it, which is unusual because I've loved all the other ones that I've watched this time. I thoroughly enjoyed. This one though, which is all about a real estate agent. She's a single mother. She's a real estate agent, and her daughter wants to set her up with her the guy who runs the local bakery that she goes to after school because her mother is constantly late in picking her up because
That's where you go to for fresh tarts. Okay.
yeah. And I didn't care for the mother, I didn't care for the boyfriend, and I didn't care for the daughter. And if you don't care for those three things in one of those movies, it makes it really hard to watch. I just can't for the life of me remember what the title of that film was. But I did watch three others. My Sweet Austrian Holiday, which was great, although the male lead is completely unbelievable, though he does kind of turn it around at the end, which is all about this it's so ridiculous. She's a lawyer from like America who when her aunt dies, she travels to Austria to take over her chocolate shop and becomes like the best chocolatier in Austria for Christmas. And he is a developer who is whose company wants to destroy the building that her shop is and build like, I don't know, a retail precinct.
It's almost like a shop around the corner.
Yeah, very much like that. But they're if you watch enough of these,
Mixed with chocolate.
they're all the same. Because one of the other ones I watched, which I really enjoyed, which was "'Twas the Date Before Christmas,"
Great title.
which this family
That'd be what, the 24th?
yeah, theoretically in the film, yeah, and in real life, this girl, her family, like every year, her family do these kind of, I can't remember the name of the family, but they do this annual Christmas games where they have a series of challenges and competitions. And this year, because of like some stuff going on, they want to cancel it. But she basically kind of bribes them into keep doing it by saying that she's going to bring her new boyfriend along. And they all get excited because she's been single for a while, and they're all like, "Oh, this is going to be okay. We'll do it. Yes, we want to meet this guy."
Yeah.
Of course, she does not have a new boyfriend, so she puts up an ad on their fake, whatever their fake Tinder is, because they're not allowed to call it Tinder, looking for a guy who's willing to come in and be her date. And this guy answers, who happens to be he's the son of a developer. He runs a construction like a property development company, but his father left him the company before he died, and his father's friend is the CEO because he doesn't want to have the responsibility. He's happy just being like one of the guys. And he doesn't really want to take over. He doesn't really want to be a suit. He wants to, get his hands dirty. So he comes along, but as it turns out, the games and while they don't know each other, they fall in love. It's a very, very Hallmark story. But then, of course, one of the sister-in-law of the main girl runs a candle shop that just happens to be in the building that they're about to develop, and he figures it out. He doesn't know going in, but he figures it out when he's there, and they actually explain it away like it's such a coincidence. But you both were looking.
It is the shop around the corner.
Yeah, you both were looking at the app. On your iPhone, you'll look at the store. So they went, obviously the algorithm just went, both these people are interested in scented candles. Well, let's tear them. Let's put them together in the dating app. So of course he figures it out that he's responsible for his future sister-in-law being evicted, and it all comes out at the preeminent moment of Christmas. It's great, but it really is a great movie. And the last one I watched was called This Time Each Year, which stars now I can't remember her name, but she was one of the real kind of bitchy characters in Days of Our Lives.
Oh, okay.
She was Sammy, and she's actually done a lot of Hallmark movies.
Yeah, keep going. He's looking at my. If you're listening to the show, he's looking at my screen because I'm bringing stuff up. Just keep talking, do your thing. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Fucking hell.
It's this time each year. Okay. But basically, her and her husband have split up due to they bought a house and it's a money pit, and it kind of stressed them out. And then because of it, he basically kind of became an alcoholic and lost his license, and then lied about it. So they're in a separation, and then they're going to sell a house, but it's Christmas and it's time for Christmas magic, and they're going to patch it up because their son whispers to Santa, and they make a big deal in the synopsis about how important the son's wish is, and he's somehow Machiavelli style manipulated them into getting back together again. The kid has about 10 minutes screen time and could not be less appealing.
Well, I mean, Beetlejuice only had 10 minutes screen time in the original film. That didn't make him any less important.
That is true, but the kid, he at no point in the film does he mention what his wish actually is, and at no point does he have an active part in his parents' relationship at all. Like he is literally a Christmas ornament in the film, but still pretty bloody
There you
good.
go, everyone. If you're looking for some Hallmark Christmas movies to watch, those are the ones.
Yeah, look,
to
I
do.
definitely. Twas the Date Before Christmas. I highly recommend. My Sweet Austrian Holiday is also pretty
Okay,
good.
cool.
Yeah, they're both pretty good.
I feel like we need an outro jingle, which we don't have, but I'm not going to hit
Thank
that button
God
again.
you stopped talking about that.
We were so bored.
He keeps looking at my computer and not talking.
I want to throw it over to the Jarrett segment, but first, before I do, I want to mention I did see a movie in the cinemas this last week. You were supposed to join me. You unfortunately couldn't. You had a bit of a migraine. Bit bedridden there, couldn't join me, and I wish you had. It was wicked. Saw that. This was a movie that I was not.
I thought you were saying it was wicked, but it is wicked.
It's one particular movie I was not looking forward to at all, and this one really caught me off guard. It's wonderful. It's one of the best movie going experiences I've had this year. It admittedly gets off to a bit of a rocky start. It's a bit laborious to begin with, but once the story and the characters are well established, my God, is it fun. And I don't think it's unreasonable to say that Cynthia, is it Erivo? Is it Cynthia Erivo? Is that the name of the Wicked Witch? I think that's her name.
I don't know. The funny thing was I heard one of the girls on the cheap seats, their cultural correspondent, talk about it.
Yeah.
And when she listened to the cast, she's like, huge stars and apart from Ariana Grande.
No, Cynthia Erivo is a fairly big star.
I was like,
She's just not in our. She's not in our sphere.
Well, as my old boss said to me the first time I went to the Cannes Film Festival, if you've never heard of her, she's not famous.
Never mind the millions that have. Jeff Goldblum's in there, and anyway, it's wonderful. But I don't think it's unreasonable to suggest that she could or deserves an Oscar nomination. It's that good. Like the performance of the Wicked Witch is mesmerizing.
Because it's all about how the Good Witch is pretty much a cunt.
Well, okay, so yes and no. It's like it's a it's a revisionist story of the Wizard of Oz. The books that it's based on in the Broadway musical.
I have read part of the book.
Yeah, take the L. Frank Baum books, the original 14 that he wrote, plus the continuation of that canon.
That's right.
And they take it in a new direction and say, well, what if this is what happened when they met, and this is why the Wicked Witch is wicked. So it's not. It's not loyal to the original text, but it's its own thing, and and this movie tells the story really well, and it's plausible. All the beats that the character.
Yeah, I forgot that you're a big fucking Frank L. Baum nerd.
Huge L. Frank Baum. Thank you very much.
Well, yeah, I'm so surprised that you weren't looking forward to this.
No, because it's revisionist.
Right.
Like the whole concept goes against what I love about the Wizard of Oz, right? Like,
right.
Because
but it doesn't, because you loved it.
Well, I did love it, but I mean, I still don't appreciate the fact that they've done it, but I can't deny it's a fantastic film, and I did suspend my disbelief, and my my reservations. I put them aside and really, really loved the songs. Are amazing. I had heard the songs from the Broadway stuff, but they've actually they've changed them quite a bit. Like they've given a lot more context to characters in this as well from the stage show, which made it much more enjoyable.
Have you seen the stage show?
Yeah, I have. I would not in person, but they film them live productions and that. I've seen that, and yeah, I think this is better than the stage show. I think it's part 1 of 2 as well, which is it was a 2.5 hour film, right? And that's part 1, so it ends at intermission, but it is a glorious ending. Like it is such a spectacular thing. It's pretty much when the witch takes off.
Is there flying monkeys in it?
Well, yeah, well they give so much backstory to how those flying monkeys became flying monkeys, and it's wonderful. I'm not going to give anything away. Go see it. It's going to be in cinemas for a little while. I think it's going to last the distance. It's not going to end anytime soon at the cinemas. I think everyone's going to get out and watch it. But yeah, it's got Oscar written all over it.
Yeah, right.
Way better than I anticipated. So
but not for Ariana Grande, right?
Oh my God. She's fantastic. Everything about this surprised me. She is such a great comical actress because she is the comical Foddy in this, right?
Yeah.
Folly, I should say. She's a bit of a ditz, but she's also very conceited, almost narcissistic, but well-intentioned. Right. So it's always about her, but her intention is about everyone else. Type of thing. It's just such a really interesting dynamic. And her and the Wicked Witch before she was a Wicked Witch, they shouldn't be friends, but the way they become friends is quite wonderful and beguiling. So, yeah, I'm really talking it up here. Go and see it for yourself. But I really wish you had been there. I think you would have loved it.
Yeah, I did. To be honest, I did not know it went for 2.5 hours, and there would have been an audible groan from me. But sometimes, sometimes you don't notice that they go for 2.5 hours.
Well, could you imagine if you'd rocked up to see The Brutalist with me and then find out it's 4 hours long? Because that's what happened to me. I had no idea.
Yeah, I think I probably would have walked out at the
The
intermission.
publicist said to me, "I'll just, the intermission will be about 15 minutes long." I'm like, "Into what? Huh? What? I've got work to do today."
That's when you kind of you buy a plane ticket, you travel to Hollywood, and you slap the director around. You go, look, there's no reason for this. There's no reason.
I mean, I haven't reviewed that on the show because that movie is not out for a little while yet. But I've got to say that's teetering up the top of my top 5 list of the year. The Brutalist. 4 hours that goes by like that. It's fantastic.
It would have to. It would have to. Otherwise, you would have killed yourself in the cinema.
It's so good.